Okay, so Dr. Chen is the artistic director of the Little Giant Chinese Chamber Orchestra in Taiwan. And currently he is in Shanghai and going all over China to conduct.
So today topic we are discussing like almost like community orchestra. Because I know Dr. Chen, you manage a professional orchestra, right? All your musicians are music school graduates.
Mm-hmm.
And so and you've been to Canada many times. For those who don't know, Dr. Chen, before the pandemic, we see him almost once a year, right, Patty? Sounds right. And we also go to Taiwan too, when we can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been when's the first time we met Dr. Chen? Like more than 10 years ago or
long time ago.
2008.
2008.
In Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong or not Edmonton?
In Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Hong Kong and then Edmonton.
Yeah.
So for the newer members, yes, we sometimes we go to Edmonton in the past, once every 2 or 3 years. So I should not take any more time. We should start. So today we're mainly focusing on the orchestra aspect, but we welcome questions. So Dr. Chen, what's your view for us for TCO? Like we are trying to develop in Toronto or Canada. What are you seeing as like for the Canadian music industry or scene? Like
another very big topic, huh?
Like how do you feel about Chinese music in Canada? Like is it going well, or where should we work on, or what are some of our opportunities?
Of course, it's going well, right? Because a lot of immigrants, right? Yeah. So you have many young people or young professional people, players, yeah, to participate. And the attitude of the players in compared to Asia and other to China and Canada, their attitude is more mature and more professional. Because the whole music system, I think. So good players to participate in good system, then they will be very organized.
You mean in Canada we have a good like our players in general have better attitude, you think? Or
yeah.
Oh,
of course.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
What are things we should work on then? Like what are our good qualities? I am interested in knowing actually.
Oh, sorry, you say quality.
What are our, like you mentioned we have some good attitude or good quality. So what are some of those qualities? Or
a good attitude, but it depends on different concert. Yeah, if the all players, all ensemble or all orchestra it's all professional players, of course the quality is much better. Yeah. Okay, but today my topic is how to build okay, we can talk about all these you said, and but step by step. Today, my topic is how to build an orchestra, right? Patty, right? Yes. Yeah. So, but I like this atmosphere. We just like a chat, but to share my experience. And of course, we can divide the orchestra to 3 different types. The amateur and the professional and the governmental. Okay, let's just these 3 types. The amateur is easy. The definition is easy to understand. The professional, I mean, my definition is well educated from the music conservatory or music school. And the governmental, I mean, it has salary monthly salary or salary. So so let's compare the three types. Okay. The amateur, of course, like Little Giant, from beginning, I will comes from amateur. Yeah, in the beginning, it's private. I just called because in the beginning, it's in National Taiwan University Chinese Music Club. I organized some of them because we love Chinese music. We want to have more opportunity to play together and to challenge a good piece or large orchestra piece. So we want to do more things. You know, last time I told you in the beginning, we participate the annual means that every year, right? Every year the competition in Taiwan, and we got the first prize, the first award every year. So it's already our duty. We are used to be the first prize. Then we want to do more, so we want to share more people. We want to develop. So we do a lot of community concerts, and we help some players to do recitals or to play challenging concerto pieces. Yeah. So for me, an amateur orchestra actually is from your interesting or your love. And after school, maybe some players, they have, especially some have good technique. They want to extend their dream, you know, music dream. Maybe like many TCO players, you are not music is not your career, your job. Yeah, but you want to have a place to extend your dream. So some of my players, me or some good leaders, we all organized Little Giant. But for an amateur group, some players they are really not good, be a good player, but they like music. So it's a place to let them to learn music, to enjoy music, and like entertainment. Yeah, entertain. They have more social connections, can make many good players, and many good friends. And especially many amateur group, they can have after they retire, they have a lot of time. They can use their time to enjoy music. But gradually, from like Little Giant, from amateur to professional, you must have some reason, because at that moment, Little Giant have many, some maybe half of the players are professional, so they have some like graduate concerts, or they need somebody to accompany their recital or something. So we started to do professional concerts. Yeah, and some players, they cannot enter governmental orchestra, and they listened Little Giant's concerts. They think that our quality is good enough, and they want to participate. So gradually, Little Giant becomes a private but professional orchestra, because you know in Taiwan, in the worldwide, the same situation, the governmental orchestra is full, so no position, so they only can participate professional but the private orchestra. Also the private professional orchestra, some I am talking about the definition. Some of this is because like Baroque or Jiangnan Sizhu ensemble, it's impossible to have governmental, so only we have private and professional. Also, I worked in the Taipei Chinese Orchestra. It's governmental, so we can compare the players. The players, I mean the composition. The players, the governmental, of course, whole are very excellent players, and here I say very good players, and we combine with the good opportunity. Why I say this? With some very good players, maybe you are very good guzheng players, but you only have one position, right? So if somebody enter 1 year before you, then the next 30 years maybe no chance. Also in Western, like harp players, but like violin players, or maybe you have more chance, but you have more competitors. And professional group like Little Giant, it's more open. We don't have the audition. Like you want to enter a governmental orchestra, you need an audition. And maybe in US, maybe one position more than 1,000, like violin, more than 1,000 or 2,000 maybe competitors. But in Little Giant, no. But I have to spend a lot of time to do the observation. I attend their recital concerts, especially young players recital concerts, and I watched their videos, and I consult many of their friends, their classmates, yeah, and their friends, most of them maybe are my players, my Little Giant players, so I can know he's good enough and his attitude is good enough, especially his attitude is good enough. And the amateur group maybe no need this, yeah, no need all these steps process, no need. You only need I want to join, yeah, I want to join. Maybe you can divide to the elder group and the main group to orchestra, but you don't have to have very good technique or something, yeah. And then we compare the budget of these three types. The governmental, of course, all the budget comes from the government or comes from some foundation. And the professional group, Little Giant, the budget comes from some sponsors or some grants. And the amateur group usually maybe have no budget or very few, or the players you have to pay the fee. And so the budget compare here is just in a professional, the governmental, you already have budget. So what you have to do is how to use the budget more efficiently, to use this budget and to have vision, you know, yeah, not just hold annually hold all 60 concerts and do everyday rehearsal. Not just this, you must have your vision. But the budget part from Little Giant, it's very difficult for me. But of course, all groups, they say our budget is difficult. Our financial situation is difficult. But for me, all players' performance fee, I have to pay. All the international tour, all the airplane tickets, all the insurance, all the shipping, everything I have to pay. by myself. Of course, the government, in Canada, you have a Canada Council. We have Ministry of Culture or the Art Foundation or something in Taiwan. But the big difference is in Canada, the grant usually give you mostly enough. Like you need 100, maybe the Canada Council give you around 90 or 80. But in Taiwan, if I need 100, I only can ask in the project. I mean, I only can ask 50. And the maxima, they can grant me 25 maxima. So usually I can get 10. So it's a big gap, right? 90%. So how can we cover this big gap? It's a negative. Negative. It's a dark area. So how can I do? The first step, I have to tell my government in the budget in the project, I need 200. I don't say I just need 100. Then maybe I can have the maximum I can get 50. I don't know if you all understand or not. Yeah, and I have to submit my project to maybe 3 or 4 foundations or grant organizations, or I still have to call a lot of sponsors to ask very few money, maybe just 500 Canadian or 1,000 Canadian. And of course, it spent me a lot of time. So almost 70, before almost 80% of my time is to find money. But now because I hire a manager, so she shared most of these works. But what she is doing is just routine things. If I have a new idea, a new project, like collaborate with a dance group or collaborate with theater or something, then I have to do all this work. Then she just use my template. In the future, she can just edit it and to get to do routine works. And for amateur group, sometimes they don't get in Taiwan. They don't get the money, the budget from art council or something. Maybe in Canada it's the same, but they can get the money from like the education, social educational department, or other department, also from government. And because we have a lot of election, right, vote, so they can get some funding because they have tickets, they can vote, right? So some people were very work very hard to help them to get some budget. So sometimes they can get and they have very few concerts, right? Every year, maybe 1, maybe 2. So sometimes they can get better, and they don't have to pay the players the performance fee. Yeah, in Taiwan, is this situation. It's very interesting. Let's compare the attitude of these 3 types. Governmental orchestra, their attitude, of course, they are very professional. They know when to do, how to do, what to do, very organized. But because it's their career, their job, so sometimes they don't have passion or don't have big passion compared to professional or the amateur group. It's just their duty. They just to attain the standard, to reach the standard. They don't want to do more. Sometimes, but it's acceptable. It's understand. I can understand. So how to let them have passion? Sometimes they need somebody to stimulate, to let them feel exciting. So usually the key person is the conductor. If it's some conductor have really very full of power and passion, and want to be let the music be good, then maybe they can be affected. They can do better. But also the same situation, the many professional conductor, maybe famous conductor, for them, it's also their job. So maybe to face a very professional orchestra, very good orchestra, they want to share their passion. But for normal level orchestra, maybe they don't do their best. But for me, even face to amateur group, you have to do your best, because it's easy to feel you're serious, or you want to be good or not. It's easy to feel. It's not about your skill. It's easy to feel, and for professional group like Little Giant, some players look this performance, it's a job. It's just I can earn some salary, some performance fee. But some have dream because they like the feeling to play on stage or to play together with other players. And for amateur group, I think the passion is the most group with passion. They are really involved. Even the music is not good enough, but they really love it, right? Because the people, the connection, relationship is really good. So how to build an orchestra? You have to, the first you have to think, what orchestra are you going to build? Amateur orchestra or professional or governmental? But of course, it's steps by step. Little Giant came from amateur, then professional. But now only professional. I cannot be a governmental. But now I'm in China. What I'm doing is use Little Giant experience. I'm trying to affect or to change some young orchestra, new orchestra, professional orchestra, governmental orchestra in China. Like Wuxi, like Pingshan, or like Jilin Province, Jilin Symphony Orchestra, and Jilin Chinese Orchestra. I'm trying to do this. But to manage or to lead an orchestra, a professional orchestra, sometimes it's not as easy as most of you think. Like, let's discuss more about the attitude part. To a professional orchestra, the players usually they are very confident by themselves. But now I have to say, I give some examples for you, but it's mainly the Chinese orchestra, the orchestra in China, and share their some small stories, and how I deal this. Okay, I share this. Like I conducted a professional orchestra. This player usually he is a little flat. Play one melody is a little flat. Actually, would you please sharper? Then it's an older generation, and he's like the leader of the under table leader of this orchestra. So he just very loud, very confident in the rehearsal. Say it's impossible because it's this note, this usually flat. It's impossible to be in tune. But of course, it's just a little bit flat, not very far. It's changeable, it's doable. So you cannot say face to face, blame him. No, you have to do in the opposite way. I have to encourage him, but I cannot encourage him so obviously. And I cannot let other players feel I agree what he said. So how can I do? I just say, would you please bend a little? Because bend a little, then the pitch will a little bit sharper. Or can you use more power of your belly? Then he said, oh, okay. Then of course the problem overcome, right? That's no problem. It's in tune. Then I have to in public. Oh, you are so good. You're in tune now. Then I didn't let him lose his faith. But everybody knows I'm right? It's doable. But of course, many conductors, especially in China, I think they are very powerful, like an empire. They just directly maybe use 30 words to blame. Or sometimes they compare. I conducted blah, blah, blah orchestra, Central Orchestra, or I conducted Vienna Orchestra. They can do this. Why you cannot do this? You are professional, but your attitude is not good. Blah, 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 blah. Then it's fighting. So what I want to say is, in governmental orchestra, even in amateur orchestra, you have to try. For me, I have to try to encourage people. But not just say, oh, everything is good. Oh, everything is no. You have to encourage him, but you have very clearly to let him know his problem and how to solve this problem. Even in amateur, some players, they really don't have the good skill. How can you just blame him, right? So if he is not good enough, I have some, let's say, not just governmental, but also amateur. If somebody can help him, then you can ask somebody to play this solo, or ask somebody to help him to play together. Or under table, I can, after rehearsal, I can call him to help him to solve this problem. Okay, like in Wuxi Chinese Orchestra, I did a lot this work. Or I asked them to record their practice, their video, and we have group like string group, wind group, percussion group. They just record, and an orchestra have more than 60 players, right? So all of them, they have a good attitude because it's a young orchestra. They record all their practice, what they practice. Then I have to judge and to point out one note is not in tune. One note is the rhythm is not good. It cost me a lot of time. Yeah, I spent a lot of time to do this, maybe more than one rehearsal. But actually, when the next rehearsal comes, and the efficiency is really high. So also, I think if in TCO or in Canada, or maybe there's other orchestra friends, orchestra players, we can use this method to help them. And also in amateur group, if somebody really cannot make it, I think we can change some notes. We can help them. Like I teach primary school student club. I first met them. They only have 5 times rehearsal, so of course their orchestra ability is really really low. But you know that the erhu players, all most of them, they cannot shift. They only can play 1 octave, and the people they cannot tremolo. They only can tan and tiao. So I change many notes for them. I try to hide the not good part and try to show their good. If you want to see, I can show you the video. So after around 10 days, 10 rehearsals, they totally change different. Yeah, Patty's watched the video. Yeah. So and they got the first prize, the first award in Beijing elementary school Chinese music competition. Okay. And I also can share more if you face to some professional player, his attitude is not good enough, then you have to encourage him. But sometimes you have to be very, very strong. You have to set a very clear line, maybe dominant or something. Yeah. Also, maybe several months ago, I conducted an orchestra. In rehearsal, most players they played well, but just 2 players they didn't attend my standard. One is maybe just have other works. Is busy in other works, so she didn't play well. And one because she originally she played pipa, but compared to other people, she's not good enough. So she went to play 大软. But for her attitude is, oh, it's difficult for me. And I said, your rhythm is not correct. Your notes are not correct. But for her, oh, I will hide. So nobody can hear my problem. But actually, I can hear, right? So the first step, I encourage him, encourage them, both of them, and try to point out their problem and ask them to solve them. But after 2 days, 3 days rehearsal, the problem is still there. So I have to set the line, a very clear line, to let all the players know, oh, if I cannot reach the standard, then it's a big problem. I'll be punished, not really punishment, but let them know. So after the last rehearsal, I still not satisfied. So on concert date, I announced, of course, not announced by myself. I announced by the manager, these 2 players, you cannot go on stage. One of them suddenly apologized. She said, oh, I know you know I have problem, but I already solved. But I told her, if you solve your problem 1 day before, then you can go on stage. But after the last rehearsal, I don't trust you. But the next sentence is, but I will trust you next time if you change your attitude and you play well. So she was happy, not so disappointed. Because I will trust her. But the second one, the Daran player, oh, she kept fighting. Went to find the orchestra leader, the boss, say, oh, why I cannot go on stage, blah blah blah. But I was very insist because you have problem. So after that time, maybe I have conflict to both of them, but I set a clear standard to other players. They all know, okay, I have to do my best. So the two examples means before the last minute, I'll encourage everyone and to help them. But if you cross the line, then no words. You just. But this situation is in governmental orchestra. If in Little Giant, it's very easy. Just you don't have to come next rehearsal because I'm the boss. I pay you performance fee. Before you come, you have to be well prepared. You cannot just hide in the orchestra. Yeah, before our meeting, I chatted with Patty and MJ. Actually, not just orchestra players, but also some conductors. Their attitude is not good enough. You know, my Little Giant's first big concert before we are ensemble, chamber orchestra, Little Giant Chinese Chamber Orchestra. So we did chamber orchestra concerts. Yeah. But our first concert, it's a big concert. We collaborated with Maestro Yu Junfa. The concert name is Peony Pavilion, right? Mudanting, you know. So I invited, because that time I'm only 25 or 26, very young. I was very young. So I invited one professional conductor to help me. Of course, before his first rehearsal, I did the pre-rehearsal very well. But when he came, you know, for him, this piece is brand new. Yeah, he didn't prepare, and he just do the reading, and so many wrong words, wrong rhythm. He didn't. He is also a composer. One piece was composed by him. He also, because at that time it's handwritten, all the score. He didn't understand. He didn't know this note is one note. Maybe it's B or C. He didn't understand. So that experience is a big shock to me. Before, I thought professional player, especially professional conductor, must be good, must be good, must be really professional in attitude. Because to be an amateur, to come from amateur group to professional, for me, I involved a lot. I prepared almost all the scores, different parts. I can remember, you know, I can memorize. But how can they do this? It's a big shock. So it encouraged me to create Little Giant, to be a really professional, you know. So I hold a lot of professional concerts, and I didn't invite professional orchestra conductors a long time, because I don't think they don't prepare, they don't spend time enough as me. They don't do efforts as like me. Of course, they have experience, but if they don't prepare, then they cannot attain my standard. Of course, I'm not so too confident to say, oh, I'm very good. No, I'm not good enough. So I also invite somebody, some of my teachers, to be consultant, to listen my rehearsal. But I don't just ask somebody to because for me, my concert may be just one of his 100 concerts. But for me, maybe it's my last concert. So I just want to say again, I'm not narcissism. I don't want not well prepared conductor or not good attitude conductor to affect my players' attitude and to affect my players to reduce their passion. I faced some interesting stories, but maybe you cannot imagine in Canada. Like in an orchestra, a zhonghu player, all notes are 22nd notes, but he played 16th. So after the first reading, then play the second. He also played the 16th, not 22nd. So I asked him, why you play 16th? And he was joking and very loud announced to other players, "Oh, conductor, you are young. You know how much salary I get monthly?" I say, "I don't know." Oh, he said, "I get every month 1,000 Canadian, but it's hard to survive in China, right?" He said, "If my orchestra pay me 2,000, then I will play 22nd." Of course, it's joking, yeah. But what I want to say is, if you participate a group, especially a governmental group, even the situation the orchestra can give you is not as good as you think, as you want, but you still have to have good attitude. Right. Don't let the bad feeling of the salary to affect the rehearsal attitude or standard. And on the table, I told him, even the orchestra, your orchestra only give you 1,000 a month, but on the table, you have many private students, right? In China, 45 minutes, maybe he can get 100 or 200 Canadian. So you actually, on the table, after rehearsal, you can earn a lot of money. And he is the one holding many 考级 or competition. He has his own company to do all these works. So he is not as poor as he said. So I just changed a method to let him know. Don't let your negative feeling to affect young players. But unfortunately, sometimes an orchestra leader or concertmasters, they don't have passion. You know, I conducted one orchestra, also professional orchestra. The first met of the concertmaster, he said, "Young conductor, okay, let's have a small talk." Okay, yeah, I'm happy. He said, to be a conductor, especially young conductor, you should be smart, a conductor with wisdom. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, a very famous conductor. He is really know players' psychology, right? Players' feeling. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, such as our rehearsal time is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. He usually finish at 11:30. I said, "Oh, I understand. I'll do my best." Okay, but you only give me 3 days, 6 rehearsals. I have to rehearse 7 brand new concertos. It's very short time, right? 7 new concertos. And she kept saying, and one young conductor, he is more smart, more understand players' thinking. I say, "What do you mean?" He said, he always stopped at 11:15. But I asked back, I said, "But why you said 12 to me?" Yeah, if I stop so early and the quality is not good enough, then maybe your boss, I mean the orchestra leader, will blame me, right? Not satisfied. But it's a key point. If the boss like you, he feel okay, it's enough. He care players thinking more than the professional quality. Then I prefer don't collaborate next time. So unfortunately, the boss is this style. So I only conduct that orchestra one time. And the compare the opposite example. One time I conduct an orchestra, and the best sonata player, he always play not in tune, and it spent me around 10 minutes. Of course, not continuous 10 minutes, but at different times, more than 10 minutes. I asked him, you should be in tune, you should be in the rhythm. And after rehearsal, many players, they came and said, oh, you were so brave. I said, what do you mean? You say, do you know he is the boss of this orchestra? Also, I don't know, because the music conductor invited me. Not, I don't know he is the boss. So he said, the player said, oh, I entered this orchestra already 6 years. You are the only conductor who is brave enough to ask him to play in tune, to play in correct rhythm. But you know, after this, the best sonata player, the boss came. He said, I like you because you are the one who asked me to be good. And for me, even I'm the boss, I want to be better. So this orchestra, I keep collaborating till now. And I can say that the orchestra is Jilin Province Orchestra. They have symphony and the Chinese orchestra, 2 orchestras. So I'll have many collaboration with them, something like this. So in China, of course, the leaders, the boss attitude is the key point, and the boss's music aesthetic is very important. So keep finding a suitable orchestra who can recognize my attitude and who can recognize my music standard, and you want to be better. I'm keep finding, and now maybe several, because China recently have many young and new professional and governmental orchestra. So I think the Chinese orchestra in China is going to, and gradually going to, maybe very suddenly going to be very good. So I'm now building new and really professional orchestra. I'm helping them. Yeah, I think the time is maybe time's off, right? To just share some experience. Yeah. If you want to listen more, or if I have time, I can share you more. But what do you think? Or any questions?
Well, actually, thank you, Dr. Chen. Actually, because you mentioned something it really resonate with me is you talk about the attitude can be professional. Although our skill sometimes might not get to that level, but our attitude can be professional. So it seems like that's what Dr. Chen is looking for, the attitude first. Or of course they need to be able to play at a certain level, but it seems that attitude is a very important thing to Dr. Chen. Like that's how you choose orchestra to develop, right?
An orchestra, and conductor's attitude will let the players, they maybe it's a very good memory to them. Like one more example, I played a sonata concerto. It's jazz style, and jazz styles is many swing, many grace notes. If they just improvise, it's easy. But if just write down all the notes for a player is very difficult. And Chen, the maybe the key signature, the maybe 5 sharps or something. It's for traditional Chinese music players. It's very difficult, especially provincial. They don't read the step notation. They read Jianpu. So the soloist suggests me to play this. It's really I of course for me it's okay, but after their pre-rehearsal, the resident conductor lead the pre-rehearsal, then the different section, the wind, the percussion, the leaders, they fight back. No, we cannot handle. We don't like this piece. It's impossible. And the boss was affected. Then the boss directly canceled this piece. Didn't ask me, directly canceled. So suddenly I get mad and I was very angry. And I called back. It's the first time I blamed. I say, why you can do this? I read the score. I can make it. You have to trust me. You cannot do this. And the soloist, he also called me back. Dr. Chen, let's maybe next time. If the atmosphere is not good, then the concert must not be good because the players has bad feeling. They are against to play this piece. But I was really insist. If you how to say, you questioned my ability, you don't trust my ability, then I don't conduct the whole concert. So finally they say, okay, let's try. And of course, even the key signature is all maybe 4, 5, 6 sharp. But actually, if you translate to Jianpu, it's very easy, right? It's melody, just a little shift, maybe. Yeah. So I use some method to let them feel, oh, actually, it's easy. So after the concert, on stage, the effect was very good. And after several rehearsals, they are very good on this piece, but the other piece is not as good as this piece. But in their mind, they are very happy, very satisfied. So yeah, it's one more example.
Hi, Dr. Chen. So I think it's a very good topic today. Your brain trust to me. So I try to took some notes here. So you mentioned, so how can I make what is the best way for the orchestra? You mentioned attitude, attention, and boss, owner, conductor, and the players. So basically three parts to build this team, right? So the attitude is very important. So I try to develop the formula, just kidding, or try to get some your key points. Maybe from owner to conductor to players. So each part should be timed together, then with the attitude, something like that. So for each level, so you will give us a very detailed in China for the how to make the player, make them try to be professional to play as a team member. You didn't mention too much about the fund and money. Do you think that one to non-professional is not important or very important? That's my one of the questions.
You mean the money, the budget?
Yeah, the budget.
It's important, but actually, for every government's policy, it's hard for them. I mean the art council to grant an amateur group it's very hard to, because usually the art budget of the government, annual the budget is very, very few compared to education or the other budget compared is very few. But I say we can try to get some money from other department, like the educational part, the social education, right? And some companies, some sponsors, they love to.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So yeah, another one I think it is so like Singapore, the orchestra, they are doing well from YouTube. I try to get some background. So they are developing only 30 years. So they're doing very good job. I think so. Yeah, need to keep it running. So which is very, very important. So this depends on the owner or board of the orchestra. So these are what I'm thinking. But I think it's a very good topic today. Thanks.
Any question?
Dr. Chen,
Hi.
I was just curious, some of the, do you notice any differences in repertoire and song choice between amateur orchestras versus professional versus government orchestras? And how maybe their politics might play into differences that you see in terms of the repertoire that each of them plays.
So
Does that question make sense?
No. Can you say clearly, or sometimes tell me? I cannot understand your question very, very well.
I think, Joe, are you asking like the music choices between the three types of orchestra, right? Like, does Dr. Chen notice a difference between the music that is selected for each different orchestra, right? Something like that, or?
Okay, because on YouTube, like maybe most of you watched the YouTube videos. There's more than 1,000 videos of Little Giant, right? Most of the pieces are challenging, but actually, for TCO, for amateur group, we have a lot of easier or smaller orchestra pieces. It's suitable for amateur groups. So don't always think we want to challenge very professional. Yeah, very professional. You know, for a professional player, maybe play 16 notes, 30-second notes for them. It's not very difficult. But usually for amateur group, it's very difficult and it's maybe impossible to overcome. So I prefer maybe if we have 6 pieces, maybe just one. The most is 2, more challenging. Others, for an amateur group, we can have more melody, long phrase, maybe slow tempo, maybe, and you can not very rely on your technique, but you can have more feeling from your life's experience. You know, like a love story, then you can play well, but the technique part you have no problem. Yeah. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, that helps. Thank you.
Because I would like to thank you, Dr. Chen, again for sharing his experiences and knowledge, because those experiences came from like many years of doing this again and again and again. So we do appreciate a lot. Dr. Chen has been helping TCO to develop for many years now. So for those who've been here, no. So we appreciate this very much. And for Dr. Chen to spend time now overseas to share your knowledge with us. And this is also recorded. And our last recording, sorry, my daughter is yelling, but that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
But,
Yeah.
So thank you again, and because TCO now we're doing a quick summer break, but most likely we'll be back in person in September to rehearse again.
One quick thing is, you know, I'm doing YouTube many videos. I'm like Patty and some of you are helping me to do professional translation from Mandarin to English. If please share this to all your friends, because it's no language barrier. So what I'm doing is to let worldwide people to know Chinese music. Yeah, I think this part an amateur group can do much better than professional or a government.
Oh, thank for sure, yes, because our network might be different than a professional orchestra network, like because they know other musicians, but we know more than the music community, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, maybe some of you are maybe lawyer, maybe banker, maybe blah 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 blah, different job. Yeah, and in different field, if somebody like Chinese music, maybe just one suggestion. The government can have much more, as we think, budget to go to music part, especially Chinese music part, because it you have many of your position can affect the policy. Yeah. If
sure.
only music players, if even we yelling, wow, we need more budget, the government don't care, right?
Makes sense for sure. Well, we are also trying to do this at TCO too, so not just music for musicians to hear. Good stuff. But I'm sure we'll see Dr. Chen again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I want to go, because before every year I have to go to Canada more than 3 times. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very nice. We look forward to the day. I'm pretty sure it will come. I'm confident on that.
Also, you have to come to Taiwan. Yeah, already 3 years.
I think almost half the people here been to Taiwan, almost.
Yeah.
So very nice.
Yeah.
Mention Tracy and the working team, because they've been working very hard in the last season to help us organize many of this experiential night, finding different topics to grow the orchestra. And so again, thank you, Dr. Chen, thank you, Tracy, thank you, working team, and thank you everyone for your participation and coming today.
Okay, have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye.